Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing this look for you here. So excited. I'm using the Huda Beauty Nude palette. This is the medium one. I've been putting off having this palette for ever since they came out. And I finally decided, bitch, I need it. Also saw Christy do a look with the dark palette the other day and I really liked it and I was like, fuck it. So I'm using that today on my eyes. I did a little rhinestone fun moment inspired by my friend Dana, who I mentioned a million times on my channel. As always, I'll leave her at right here. You guys probably followed her already by now because I mentioned her so many times, but she always does these little crystals and they're always so fun. And I've been meaning to like do it on myself for the longest time, but I keep forgetting. So today I was like, that's it, we're doing it. It's happening. Today's the day. So here we are. I really love how it turned out. And in this video, I do kind of talk about the stuff going on with like Nikki Tutorials and Jeffree Star and talk about like my 2019 and how I feel about it and everything like that. So just some kind of random chatting along with the tutorial on this look today. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. It's probably gonna be long, sorry, but I hope you guys like it anyway. Please subscribe if you're new. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me so much. And if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. All right, so let's get this look started. This is what we're going for, obviously. So yeah, I'm gonna start off by priming as always. Today I'm using my e.l.f. Camo concealer, but this is the hydrating version, which I just recently got. I still need to do like a video comparison between this one and the original because you guys know how much I love the original one. And I'm going to do that. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. So yeah, I'm gonna use this as my primer today. For eyeshadow today, we're going into the Huda Beauty Nude Medium palette. And the first shade I'm gonna take is this darkest brown here. And I'm taking this on a JH40 and I'm just gonna start stamping this in my crease. As you guys know, I usually like to do, just to get our initial depth to our look. So I'm taking this in the outer corner and then all the way across my crease. Once that is on, I'm gonna go back into the palette and take this middle shade on the bottom of the palette with the JH31 brush. And now I'm gonna start kind of stamping this over the edge of the deep shade and then start kind of blending that out. I seriously love the tones in this palette. Like this, I feel like is something I've been gravitating toward lately, these tones, and something that I really like in particular about like Huda Beauty's color stories lately. It was kind of this similarly how I felt about the Mercury Retrograde palette, where she's doing these like mauve-y, like dusty colors. Like all these shades are kind of like very like pinky warm, you know, like a pinky brown. Something about those shades, it's kind of like almost very romantic in a way. And I've just been really drawn to them lately. I don't know why. I'm gonna take a little bit of my Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder that I usually use on my face, and I'm gonna take the same blending brush I just used and just tap the powder under my brow bone and then all the way around the edges of everything, and then just kind of buff a little bit. This is gonna help that last blending shade blend out even better. And then you can go back with that last shade one more time, just to make sure you got that intensity. And then I'm also gonna go in with the deepest brown on the same brush that we used first and reapply that in the crease. But now I'm gonna kind of like feather it out more and blend it out a little higher, just because I want like a very like smokiness to this look. And I am keeping this pretty round. So I wanted to kind of, I don't know why, talk about the whole Nikki Tutorials thing, where, you know, she just recently put out that video coming out as trans, and something that I was thinking about when I watched the video. Well, first of all, when I watched the video and she like revealed that, I like audibly screamed. Like I was at work and someone at work showed it to me. And at first I didn't get it. Like at first I thought she meant that like she was like born as a woman, but then she was like identifying as trans and not necessarily like a cis woman, or you know, the whatever verbiage you want to use. That's what I thought at first. And then like as the video continued on, she like mentioned being born as a boy and feeling like she was the wrong body, and then it kind of clicked that she literally meant like she was a male to female trans woman. And I literally screamed because I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't believe it, you know? And one thing that I thought about, you know, in that whole thing and that I've been thinking about is like how it's kind of almost like a really great testament to how you would have never known, you know what I'm saying? You would have never thought, you would have never known, you would have just thought to yourself, you know, she's just a normal woman, if you want to put that kind of wording on being a woman as being normal. But you know what I'm saying? Like you would have never, I guess, assumed that, or at least I didn't. I feel like a lot of people would never have just kind of thought that to themselves. And I think that's a testament to like the trans community, and sort of like it sort of almost even helps to further normalize it, because it's like it's a perfect example of how this person is just like a normal person, like every day. Like no one thought any differently of her. They just saw her as a woman, and she just kind of did her thing. Great role model, like all this other stuff. And it's sort of like, I think, is a testament to like not assuming things about the trans community or assuming things about trans people, because I mean, this is a perfect example how trans people are just like normal people. They're like anyone else. So I kind of was thinking about that, you know, after the fact, and how that's like a perfect example of that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So I'm gonna next go into this Huda Beauty Matte and Metal Melted Shadow. This is the one with the matte shade is called Bubble Bath, and then the shimmery shade is called, I can't talk, Pink Champagne. So I'm taking the matte side first, and I'm just getting that on my hand, and then I'm getting it on my MAC 242 brush. And this is actually just what I'm gonna use to do my cut crease. And I'm gonna use this on my whole entire lid as my lid shade. So when I first like tested this out on my hand at the store, I noticed that the matte shade was like super long wearing. Like I put it on my hand and it stayed there, and like I felt like I'd have to scrub it off to actually get it off my hand, which was great because I was like, oh, this is gonna be super long wearing. So I was really happy about that. So that's why I was like, this would be perfect to do a cut crease with. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with this one. I am going to use the shimmery shade as well, but I'm kind of curious to see how the shimmery shade works on the eye, like throughout the day, because I put the shimmery shade in my hand just like I did the matte one. And when I came home from the store and I had like washed my hands, the matte one stayed on completely, and that's when I was like really, really impressed. But the shimmery shade came off like completely, like just with water, like rinsing water. I hadn't even put soap on my hands yet. I just kind of had wet my hands and sort of rubbed them together. The shimmery shade came completely off. Like there wasn't even a trace of residue of that shimmer left on my hand. So I was like, oh, maybe the shimmer shade isn't going to be very long wearing and it might like crumble off, you know what I'm saying? So we will see how that goes. But so far the matte shade is really nice. So I'm packing this on. It does darken as it dries a little bit. So that's why you'll see kind of as I first put it on, it looked a little lighter. But then as I'm getting it nice and blended across, it does like darken a little bit. But as you can see, it makes a really nice cut crease. And I really love these tones and sort of this vibe of like this very matte, I don't know, like full matte kind of moment, and just popping the shimmer. I don't know, I really like it. So now that that's on, I'm gonna go back into this palette and I'm gonna grab this shade as well as the dark shade we used, and then just use those to kind of blend across like I normally do to transition the outer quarter into the lid. All right, once that's done, I'm gonna move to the lower lash line, going in with my e.l.f. black No Budge liner like I usually do. I'm going to put this on my waterline as well as underneath my lower lash line, kind of my usual thing. And then I'm going to blend it down. I'm also going to put it on my tight line. And then just use this little smudgy brush to blend it. So yeah, 2020 has been crazy so far. I mean, shoot, we're only like 2 or 3 weeks in. And Jeffree Star broke up with Nate, or Nate broke up with Jeffree, whatever. And Nikki Tutorials came out as trans. And we almost had World War III. And like, this year has been kind of crazy so far, to be honest. So who knows what's gonna happen next. So go back into the palette. I'm gonna go back in with this shade first to set the liner, and then take this shade again to blend it down as I would normally do. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what's in store for this year because it seems a little crazy. I will be honest, 2019 for me was like, I think definitely my worst year in a while. 2018 was sort of my best year, like ever. And I mean, that would definitely be hard to top. Like, I'm gonna have my baby, which was amazing. I got like 6 months of maternity leave to be with her, and which was amazing. And then towards the end of the year, I got to have the opportunity to work for Morphe, and I got hired at Morphe, which was just amazing. And so that year for me was just like boom, 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 like all this great stuff. It was like amazing. And then 2019 decided to come around and really just F me up completely. Like, 2019 came around, and I'm gonna use this side really quick, the shimmery side from that Huda Beauty thing. And I had to leave Morphe. I had to move from beautiful Florida to middle of nowhere, frozen tundra. And it was just a lot. And so it was not a really great year for me. So I'm hoping 2020 is gonna be amazing for me. That's what I'm really, really hoping for. Yeah, I hope I hope 2018 or 2019 was good for you guys, but if not, you're in the same boat as me. 2020 is about to be lit. It's gonna be good. I'm going in with this corner shade in the palette, and I'm getting just a little bit of that on my brush, and I'm gonna spray it with a little bit of the Morphe setting spray, and just use this to kind of transition in the lighter color on the inner corner into my lower lash line so that it kind of fades a little better, and just sort of let that fade out there. I really like that, like all matte, and then you just get that nice fun little pop of shimmer. Okay, so now we're gonna do this little fun part and do these rhinestones. A friend of mine, Dana, who I worked with at Morphe, who I've mentioned 20,000 times on my social media, literally. She's been doing this a lot lately, and I literally love every time she does it. So I wanted to give it a go. So I'm using some rhinestones I got off Amazon. Lily, I had this whole pack. It was 6 different sizes. It was completely full. And then Lily grabbed it out of my drawer and went like this to shake it, because it makes a sound when the rhinestones shake. And they all fell everywhere in my room. So I was like super limited with the sizes I had today to work with, because half of them were sucked up in the vacuum after she threw them on the floor. So I'm just using some like bigger ones here along the cut crease, and then I use some smaller ones kind of out this way. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just applying them. I only have Black Duo right now, so I'm just using my Black Duo and being really careful to apply really tiny dots of glue with like a little brush, or sorry, the end of this little brush, to apply the rhinestone on top. But I'm being careful that the black dot isn't too big so that you can't see it, you know what I'm saying, because the lash glue is dark. So I'm just going to apply these really quick, and then I will be right back and we'll kind of finish off everything. So yeah, once you get the hang of that, it's actually really easy. That took me like maybe 2 minutes to do all of those. Like it's actually not that hard. A couple of them, you can see the glue a little bit, like that one, but who cares? So I'm gonna do my lashes really quick. You guys know I'm gonna use my e.l.f. mascara, as always, my favorite, the Plump It Up mascara. And then today for lashes, I used the ALAMAR Cosmetics lashes in the style SALVAJE, which I think these must have been limited edition because I was noticing their social media. They kept saying, what do you want us to bring back? And it said the lashes, and I was like, oh, I didn't know they were only for a limited time. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna use today. And I'm gonna put these on, and then we're gonna come right back and start working on everything else. All right, eyes are done. Now let's move on to some face makeup. My skin is already prepped. To prep my skin today, I use my First Aid Beauty Radiance pads, and then I put on my moisturizer. The one I'm using right now is the Neutrogena Deep Moisture Day Cream, which I've been really liking. So that's what I have on so far. And let's just put some face makeup on, okay? So I'm gonna use my Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation today because I feel like I haven't used this in like a couple weeks-ish probably. And this foundation is just so darn pretty. And I'm going to apply this with this foundation brush that is dirty that I need to wash. The IT Cosmetics foundation brush. So what did you guys all think when Jeffree announced that him and Nate broke up? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I feel like, I don't know if you guys know I'm not like a Nate and Jeffree like stan. I've mentioned before that I don't really watch Jeffree's stuff like very religiously. Like I'll watch some of his videos kind of randomly if they like show up in my recommended and it's something I'm interested in watching, but I don't think I'm subscribed to him. And I don't like follow their relationship or anything by any means. So I don't know a whole ton about them. But I definitely feel like every time I did watch a video where, you know, Nate was in it or like pictures of them, and I don't know, like it always seemed to me awkward, the relationship. Like, does anyone else feel that way? I don't want anyone to attack me for that, you know. There's just sometimes, you know, when you see people together where you're kind of like, you know, yeah, like kind of like I don't get it, or I don't see it, or something feels off. Like that's how I always felt about their relationship, you know. And so I was always kind of like not convinced that they were gonna be together. And that's kind of weird for me to say, honestly, because I literally don't know them, and I don't know them in real life, and I don't know anything about them. So I'm just sort of judging off of nothing. I'm also gonna use my e.l.f. concealer. But I don't know. Like, that's kind of how I felt. Like, you know, you can kind of just like, if you see people like interacting together, sometimes you can just get like a vibe, you know? Like, for example, when I watch Raw Beauty Christy, her channel, where if her husband's in one of her videos, or if on their like channel they do together, which is like completely gold and amazing, and I love them, and it's so wholesome and beautiful, and you should go watch it. But anyways, if I watch their videos of like them together, for example, you can just tell that they're like, they vibe so well and they're obsessed with each other, and you can just like get that feeling, you know, when they're in a video together, that it's just like, it feels like you can feel their connection, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's sort of like, I don't know if it's just sort of like an instinct, or like just like yeah, that's kind of what it is to me, like a human instinct. I don't know, but like that's like what I feel like when I see them together. But with Jeffree and Nate, it just never felt like, you know what I'm saying? It never felt like super, I don't know. Like it always, like I feel like whenever he was on camera, it was awkward and weird and like just like a strange vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I'm saying. And I don't know, no one attack me. Like the same thing goes for this couple that I watched this one lady's videos. She has cleaning videos. I'm not gonna say who it is. Because I'm not going to, but I like her videos a lot, and her and her husband will sometimes be in like videos together, And it just is like, kind of like I'm saying with Jeffree and Nate, it's like awkward where like it almost seems like she's constantly annoyed by her husband, but they do videos together still. And it's, I get, again, kind of like that. It's just like an awkward vibe and you're kind of like, that seems weird, or I don't know. So that's all I'm saying. But I feel, obviously, for Jeffree, because, you know, losing someone you care about is really hard, obviously. So it really sucks, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, it'll be better. It's just, have you noticed a lot of the little YouTube couples and stuff kind of like, you know, coming apart? Like I've noticed, I feel like several over the last couple months or last year or so where they kind of like fell off and people are breaking up and stuff. So maybe this is the year that it like really comes together for everyone and they like have a better year. Those are the vibes I'm bringing into 2020. It's going to be a great year. That's what I'm going for. I just set my concealer with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder as always. I'm going to take a little bit of this Mercier mineral powder. I've been using this a lot more lately. I really actually enjoy this powder a lot. It's very, very smoothing. This one is like a little darker than my foundation color. So when I use this guy, it just gives me a nice like little bit of extra color and kind of like a bronzy warmth to my skin. And yeah, like I said, this powder is super smoothing. It's really similar to like MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. Obviously it's a loose powder, but it's just like that same kind of finish, although this is more expensive. But I actually bought this a long time ago and I just found it in my drawer again like a week or two ago, and I was just like, oh, I need to start using this again because I bought this like 5 years ago and I haven't used it yet. So for bronzer, I'm using the same one I've been using forever and a day now for like the last couple months. MAC Global Glow Mineralized Skin Finish. I don't know if I've like updated you guys on my new job, but Ulta's been really good. I've got a really good team. It's definitely a lot of work compared to other makeup companies I've worked for. Just the amount of things you have to do because, but I mean, think about it. It's like a large, Ultas are large stores. There's a lot of brands. They do like a lot of sales and stuff. So there's a lot of like updating the new sales going on, or something's going on clearance, or like all these other things where like at MAC and Morphe, it was all much smaller because I mean, at MAC, I just worked with MAC. So there wasn't as much of that. Or like with Morphe, it was kind of condensed into a couple brands. So if there's something moving or changing, it was only a little bit of things. Whereas Ulta has 20,000 brands. So it's like there's 20,000 moving parts all the time. I'm going to use actually this shade. No, I'm going to use this shade, this more pink one, as blush today actually. It's a really pretty neutrally pink kind of color. Makes a very good blush color. This palette is really good. I've come to realize that I've really only like the little tiny Huda palettes. Because that Mercury retrograde was like good for the most part. There were a couple things that I think could have been better. It was good for the most part though, but these little ones are always so much better. The quality and everything. I just really like these much more. And with the amount of eyeshadow that I have, I'm never gonna like go through a big palette. You know what I'm saying? I won't even go through these little palettes. So I don't need like the extra product, you know what I'm saying, that the big palettes have to be so much more expensive because you're getting like a bigger eyeshadow, but I'm never gonna go through it probably. So why do I need a bigger eyeshadow? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I really like these smaller ones much more. And I'm probably just gonna stick with getting those smaller ones in the future. I'm gonna go into my JACLYN palette again. As usual, I've been doing a lot lately to highlight today. And of course, just mixing all the colors together as usual. I decided not to get a backup of this. I know I was mentioning it in one video that I was thinking about getting it back up, but I was just like, I love it, but there's a lot of other things I also love. And I'm sure by the time I run out of this one, there's gonna be some new hotness out anyways that I'm gonna want. So I don't need to like get another one of these, you know? For my brows today, I'm gonna use the Benefit Foolproof Brow Powder. This is the shade number 3. And I'm gonna use that on my favorite eyebrow brush, excuse me, sorry, the ABH 7B. Now that that is on, I'm just gonna use the 24-hour brow setter, also from Benefit, just to brush up the hairs and keep it all in place. All right, so for my lip today, I'm gonna keep it kind of basic, but also a little fun, I guess. I'm gonna start off with the ALAMAR Cosmetics lip liner, and this is the shade Dulce. And then I'm going to use the Sephora Cream Lip Stain Metal, which is the shimmery one, in the shade number 109. All right, guys, so here is the finished look. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed my random little input on little things going on right now. And yeah, that's kind of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're new, and I will see you next time. Bye.